So good morning everybody, welcome to Office Azadda 247. Today is the exam day and I know that nervousness at its peak, right? You must be feeling anxious, you must be very concerned about the performance which you will be giving in the examination, but be rest assured you have prepared well and the results will speak for your preparations. Fine, that is the message from the entire Office Azadda 247 team. Today's agenda is very simple. We will be trying to solve such questions which are highly expected in the examination. Fine, these are the questions we have selected from the topics which have been covered by IIBF in the previous cycles. So we have framed the questions based on those topics and we will be quickly solving these questions so that you have the last minute push for your preparation and you score maximum in the actual examination. Let's get started. First question in front of you, we are talking about the regulatory oversight by RBI and the differing participation rules for various entities in call or notice market, notice or call money market. The question is based on that. Which of the following scenarios is most likely to occur within this particular market? I want participation from everybody. Everybody must participate because this session is for you guys only. It will give you the confidence, the last minute confidence that yes, we can crack this exam with flying colors. So what is the right answer here when I talk about the most likely or most appropriate option out of these four? Correct answer will be your option C, that is the scheduled commercial banks excluding the RRBs lending the call money on an uncollateralized basis. Uncollateralized basis, you must remember, to another SCBs experiencing a temporary mismatch in its cash reserve ratio. That is also very important to know because see these money market instruments, the most important one are these only. Fine, the most number of questions asked from the previous trend I am telling you is from this particular topic only. Next, when we talk about the tri-party agent, they should have a minimum paid up equity share equal to what? What is the minimum amount? So it is 5 crore, 10, 25 or 30. C is the right answer, that is 25 CR will be the minimum paid up equity share capital when we talk about the applicant wants to become what? TPA, the tri-party agent. When we talk about the term money refers to what? That is the question. You have to select the incorrect. See, in the examination which will be held after 2 or 3 hours, you must remember that you are there to highlight these terms also. You must remember that you must have that mental capacity remaining with you, that you can pick and choose that whether incorrect is asked, correct is asked, what is asked in the examination, not correct, whatever the keyword is, you must be able to pick them. Okay, so do avoid the silly mistakes, that's a message. So what is the right answer here when we talk about the term money? Simple definition. Just now we have seen the call and notice money market. The correct answer is option A. The term money refers to borrowing or lending of funds for a period exceeding 14 days to 1 year on an uncollateralized basis. It is on the uncollateralized basis. Again, I am telling you, this is highly important. Okay, the period of lending may be for period of 1 day, which is known as call money, between 2 to 14 days known as the notice money. Okay, the important factors role in international factoring is typically contingent upon a specific event related to buyer's payment. Which factoring system triggers the import factors involvement only upon the buyer's default? When you are telling me that only the buyer is at default, what will be the right answer here? Quickly tell me the right answers also, whether it is single factor, double factor, direct import factor or triple factor. See, do not get confused between the single factor and direct import. They are different only. Fine. Direct import is different. Single factor altogether a different concept. So right answer will be single factor system only. So when you see the this particular structure, it says that when the import factor, this particular one, import factor is being involved at step 6. In case the buyer does not pay in 90 days, the import factor will pay to the export factor. What is the timeline? Within 90 days. Do remember this as well. Next, the NAV of equity mutual funds and index debt mutual funds are required to be rounded off to how many decimal places? How many decimal places? You must tell me the decimal places. Only the decimal places is being asked. This question has already been asked in the examination. So the decimal places are, they are 4 and 2. When we talk about the equity mutual funds, it is 4 up to 4 places, and index or debt mutual funds, it is your 2 places, up to 2 places. Okay. Then we have a question on the principle of indemnity. This question not directly has been asked, that same number or the same case study cannot be asked, but when we talk about the language of the question, the concept which is asked, it is the same. The question is stating that Miss Priya owns a boutique that she established 2 years ago within an initial investment of 20 lakh. She purchased the standard fire insurance policy with the sum insured of 15 lakh. Recently, a fire damaged her boutique, resulting in an actual loss assessed at 18 lakhs. According to principle of indemnity, the maximum amount of compensation Miss Priya can expect from the insurance company is what? What is the right answer here? Yes, yes. Good. When we talk about Miss Priya's what initial investment, the initial investment was 20 lakh. Then we have what? Purchased the fire policy, sum insured is 15 lakh. It is 15 lakh. And lastly, the actual loss is also given as your 18 lakh. Simply, what is the right answer? It will be what? 18, 20 or 15. Simple direct formula is asked. None of the above is the right answer, because 13.5 will be the correct answer, and it is not given in the option. Here you can see the formula. Formula you must remember. Okay. It is what? Sum insured. Here it is written also, sum insured divided by value of the insured asset, the value of the asset, multiply by the actual loss. That is the formula when you talk about the level of compensation based on the indemnity. Fine. It will be 13.50. Good. Which type of the real estate investment trust, REIT, is specifically required to invest a minimum of 24% of its assets in commercial properties like shopping malls? Now, this type of question, when we talk about in the actual exam, they won't be asking that shopping malls or any other example. They won't be giving the example. They will be asking directly 24% of its assets in commercial properties. That is how they have done till the last cycle. Now, in this cycle, if they change something, we cannot say, but yes, that is the norm till now. Option C, that is retail REITs, will be the right answer. So, REITs, invitees, very, very important. 2 topics. Most important topic when you rank it on the basis of module D. In which of the following cases the insurance ombudsman cannot take up a case? Which of the following? So, insurance ombudsman is there for resolving the disputes related to insurance settlement. So, the complainant has made a representation to the concerned insurance company and the insurer has accepted. When the insurer has accepted, do you think that again the case will be moved to insurance ombudsman, or they will accept the case? The complaint is made later than 1 year after the insurer had replied. So, the time has lapsed. The same complaint is pending in a court. So, the insurance ombudsman will not take the cases if these are the situations. Fine, all the 3 will be the right answer. Here you can see that this particular data is from the book, but it has been updated now. It is not 30 lakh, now it is 50 lakh. Do remember and do not get confused. This is 50 lakh only. Okay, in the book it is written 30 lakh because why? It has not been updated. Okay. But you have to remember what? 50 lakh to where the award compensation not exceeding 50 lakh. Okay, real estate investment trust, REIT, when we talk about, select the correct statement from the following. There are 3 statements given. Investing in REIT is capital intensive as compared to the direct investment in properties. So, whether it is capital intensive or not, currently there are only few REITs in India. REITs are regulated by SEBI and hence the chances of fraud are low. Correct answer will be option B, that is 2 and 3 only. Investing in REITs is not capital intensive as compared to the direct investment in the properties. Do remember that. That is why they are popular, investment trusts. Okay. 2 and 3 only, yes. One more data point was there. REITs are regulated by SEBI, hence their chances are low. Hence your third statement is correct. REITs are transparent as they disclose their capital portfolio semi-annually. That is also an important data for our examination. The investors in REITs, real estate investment trusts, have a tax rate of dash for your interest income to non-residential unit holders. So, what is the right answer of tax rate under REITs? It is 5%. So, B will be the right answer. Again, one more question on REIT. We have compiled the questions on REIT so that via question you will be able to remember, or you can say revise the concept of REIT. So, when we talk about REIT, what is the correct information? Sponsor to hold not less than 25% of the total unit of investment trust for at least 3 years from the date of listing, at least 3 years, minimum 3 years. SPVs to hold not less than 80% of the assets directly in the properties and not invest in other SPVs. Investment trust to hold the controlling interest and not less than 50% equity share, capital or interest in SPVs. Investment trust to invest not less than 80% of the value in the completed and revenue generating projects. What is the right answer here? Correct answer will be all of the above is the right answer. You must remember, sponsor cannot hold more than 25% of the total units. Then SPVs minimum 80% of assets are directly in the properties. When we talk about investment trust to hold controlling interest not less than 50%. Investment trust to invest not less than 80% of the value in the completed as well as revenue generating projects. Fine, all the projects from where good revenue is there, profit. Fine. So, what about the infrastructure investment trust, the invitees? It has two managers, investment manager, project manager. It can have maximum 3 sponsors. So, invite sponsors are mandatorily required to hold minimum 10% stake in the trust for at least 3 years after the formation of trust. Primary responsibility of the sponsor is to set up the infrastructure investment trust and appoint SEBI approved trustee. What is the right answer here? SEBI approved trustee or not? What is the right answer? Correct answer is option A, that is 2 only. SEBI approved trustee and this one, it has 2 types of manager. No. Here you can see that this particular question is wrong. The information provided is wrong. How many managers are there when we talk about the invitees? Quickly tell me. Me first shift. Okay, first shift. So, right now it is 6:15 na. The reporting time is what? Reporting time I think is 9 AM. So, we have time, don't worry. Which of the following statements are incorrect regarding the Employees Provident Fund Organization, that is EPFO, based on the following information? Established in 1952 and covers the employees in specified economic sectors, firms with more than 20 employees, statutory body under the Ministry of Commerce. EPFO administers the mandatory provident fund. Board is chaired by the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India. EPFO's apex decision making body is Central Board of Trustees. What is the right answer here? Correct answer, the incorrect answer. Incorrect answer will be your option C. Only 2 is incorrect. Rest all are correct. Fine. It is a statutory body under the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Fine. Which of the following statements are incorrect regarding the yuan number? So, universal account number based on the following information. Quickly tell me. When I talk about the EPFO, it introduced the yuan number, which acts as an umbrella for the multiple member IDs, right? Yuan is a unique 12-digit number or 15-digit number assigned to an employee by EPFO. Yuan enables the linking of 3 EPF accounts allotted to a single member. Fine, linking of 3 EPF accounts, member IDs. That is the basic thing. But in the first statement, you can see that it has multiple member IDs. What is the right answer? Yuan program was launched in October 2014 as part of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Shramam Jayate Karyakram. The correct answer will be what? Option B. The incorrect, because we have asked. So, 2 and 3 are incorrect, 1 and 4 are correct. These 2 are incorrect. Next, when we talk about lease, what is the correct definition of various types of lease? Cross border lease, we have percentage lease, upfront, back end, close and open end lease. All these are the definition based questions which can be asked in your examination as well. Directly question can be asked from these particular definitions. So what is the right answer here when we talk about this question? C is the right answer, that is all are correct. Close and open end lease. In close end, the asset get transferred to the lessor at the end of the period. Open end, the lessee has the option of purchasing the asset. Upfront and back end, in the upfront you have higher the lease rental are charged in the initial years and your lower rentals for the later year of contract. When we talk about the back end, the lease rental are less with increase in later years. Percentage lease, the lease will be having the lessor will need to pay fixed lease rental plus your some percentage of the previous year's gross revenue will be there. Cross border lease, the cross border lease, international lease, the lessee lessor are situated in two different countries. Two different countries are there, do remember that. Arrange the following steps in the correct ascending order that typically occurs in the process of credit rating. In credit rating, fine. What do you think is the right answer? The first statement says, the first you can say sentence is saying that obtaining the information from the company. That is the correct statement, fine. That is how those things will start, and that is written in the option A only. But you must remember that what is the actual flow. Okay, for this question, right answer is option C only, right? C is the right answer. C. Here you must remember entering into the agreement by company with CRA, then appointment of analytical team at CRA, obtaining the information from the company. This was written in the first, na? So this is the third step. Meeting the company's officials, analysis of the company's financials, meeting the rating committee to decide on the rating, communicating the rating decision to the company. Then we have rating published on the CRA website. So CRA website, the publishing will be happening only after you have communicated the rating to the company. Do remember that is the second last step. On the website, monitoring and reviewing of the rating will be happening in the last. Okay. Which among the following statement is or false with respect to the concept of venture capital? What is venture capital, and what are the basics when we talk about venture cap? Who are the venture capitalists? They prefer the high risk and high reward category, fine. So venture capital may be broadly defined as long-term investment in a business which has potential for significant growth. It meets the need of business wherein the probability of loss is quite high because the uncertainties associated with the business are there, but the returns are expected also to be higher. Venture capital is therefore termed as low risk high return. No, it is wrong. Venture capital funds are investments made by investors who seek the private equity stakes in the small to medium businesses which have potential to grow. What will be the right answer here? False are your three only. Venture capital is therefore termed as what? Venture capital is high risk and high return, not low. Okay, which of the following statement is correct regarding the STT? It is what? Securities transaction tax. Everybody knows first is right. It is being levied on all the tax transactions done on the stock exchanges at your one second. Okay. Stock exchanges at rates prescribed by the central government from time to time. It came into effect from October 1, 2004. In order to reduce the transaction cost in the capital market, STT was reduced to 0.1% on cash delivery transaction in the annual budget 2015-16. What is the right answer here? Correct answer for the correct, see, you have to select the correct statements here. All are correct except for 4. In the union budget 2012-13 it was there, not in 15-16. In a rights issue, which of the following conditions must be met by a applicant shareholder to be permitted to use the SBA facility? SBA facility is for what? You are using the SBA for what in the rights issue? That is the question. The following conditions, which of the condition you must meet? The correct answer to this is option C only, SCSB. The shareholder is applying through the blocking of funds in a bank account with self-certified syndicate bank. That is the most relevant point when we talk about the SBA facility via SCSB. Okay, you can see that SEBI has specified the investors who can apply through SBA, and the record of those investors are published on the website of SEBI itself. FIMDA, when we talk about this question, which of the following is stated role of FIMDA? When we talk about FIMDA, the full form is Fixed Income Money Market and Derivatives Association of India. So, what is the right answer? Whether it is A, that is the primary regulator of the bond money market, or it is B, to guarantee the settlement of trades, to function as the principal interface with the regulator on the issues, directly compete with the primary dealer. C is the right answer. The principal interface with the regulators on the issues impacting the functioning of bond, money and derivative markets. Okay, it is self-regulatory organization FIMDA. Can you tell me that one organization related to mutual fund is also a self-regulatory one, SRO, which is the body? It is AMFI, right? To remember. What would be the correct nomenclature of the central government security issued in March 2025 for 15 years with a coupon rate of 6.5% per annum? What will be the right answer here when I am talking about the nomenclature, correct nomenclature? It will be option A, B or C. It is B. That is, first of all, you will do what? While giving the nomenclature, you will write down the coupon rate. So, first of all, you have to write the coupon rate, that is 6.5. Then you have to write GOI, Government of India. And lastly, you have to tell the maturity year. So, 15 years from 2025 will be what? 2040. That will be the representation, the correct representation of the central government security. Okay. Credit ratings are broadly classified into three main categories that indicate level of creditworthiness. Which of the following options correctly list these three categories? Which of the following options? We have high investment grade, speculative grade, or high investment, low investment, speculative grade, then speculative grade, hedge grades. What is the right answer? Directly we will jump to the right answer only because we do not want to have any confusion. High investment grade and speculative grades. That is the correct answer. Here you can see that presently there are 7 CRAs in our country. CRISIL, India Ratings, ICRA, then you have CARE, Brickwork, Informix and Acute. These are the 7 CRAs approved by the SEBI. And when I talk about the ratings, the symbols, they are like this: AAA, AA, BBB, B, C and D. And there are in total 14 or 15 categories. The signs are also used like plus or minus. Along with that, read the last line, BBB, that is BBB minus will be one notch above the BB plus. Okay, do remember this. Fine. So, this is it for your CRAs. Next, AMFI, the another self-regulatory organization. What is not the objective of AMFI, Association of Mutual Funds in India? What is the right answer here? So, it will be option B. That is, it acts as a direct regulatory authority overseeing the operations of mutual funds. It is not, fine, not, because who is overseeing the operations of mutual funds? Whether it is AMFI or SEBI. And when we talk about AMFI, what it is doing? It is performing a function of, you can say, assessing the risks, or you can say doing the research and then letting SEBI know and doing the hand holding along with SEBI of those users. So, it is not regulating as such, fine. You cannot say that it is the regulator. AMFI was incorporated in August 22nd, 1995, non-profit organization, and these are the, you can say, objectives: to interact with SEBI for betterment of mutual fund industry. That is what is defined as your role under AMFI. It has also set up the Committee on Valuation of Mutual Funds, Committee on Best Practices, RBI related matters, registration of AMFI, certified distributors for reviewing and evolving the standards of your mutual fund industry. Do remember this point, this is the most important one. When was the riskometer for mutual fund product labeling modified to include 6 risk levels? 6 risk levels, fine. 6 risk levels came in 2020, fine. The riskometer started in 2015, but the 6 levels came in 2020. Here you can see those 6 are low, low to moderate, moderately, moderately high, high and very high. Riskometer measures what? The risk involved in the transaction. Okay, Mr. Sharma invested rupees 1 lakh in short term bond fund. After 9 months, the market value of his investment grew to 1.08 lakh using the absolute return method. What is the absolute return on Mr. Sharma's investment? What will be the right answer here? Mr. Sharma's investment. Basically, you have to select the correct option using this particular formula, absolute return method. It will be 8%, 0.89 or 96%. Correct answer is option A only, 8%. And how you will be getting the value? Simply the current market value, that was what? 1.08 lakh subtracted from the original investment, that was 1 lakh, divided by the original investment 1 lakh, multiply by 100. You will be getting what? The absolute return as 8%. Okay. Formula you must remember, important one, current market value minus original investment divided by original investment multiply by 100. Next, when we talk about the total loss basis insurance claim, this is referred the particular process, what happens to the partly damaged goods or the wreck of property that is settled on a total loss basis in an insurance claim that is being asked. This is referred to as the salvage, and after the claim is fully paid, the salvage, what happens with the salvage? You are given that salvage is what? That whatever the process is involved after the wreckage of the total loss basis insurance claim, you will have what? Salvage, fine. That process is your salvage, and after the claim is fully paid now, the salvage will be what? Remains the property of the insured, whether it goes to the insurance company. What will be the right answer? Correct answer for this question is option C only, becomes the property of insurance company. Okay, meaning of salvage is what? In case of claims under various types of insurance policy, partly damaged goods or the wreck of the car, of any machinery or any property settled on total loss basis, fine, is known as salvage. So, what is known as salvage? Your any wreck or any machinery or any other property, all these are known as the salvage. Wreck is what? The remains of the automobile, whatever has been you can see lost or damaged. Fine. In the context of National Pension Scheme NPS, which of the following statements accurately describes the key difference between tier 1 and tier 2 accounts? Tier 1, tier 2 accounts, one question has already been asked in the examination. That is the only reason why we have included it here as well. What is the right answer for tier 1 and tier 2? See, quickly give me the correct answer only, fine. We won't be discussing each and every option. Why? Because it might create confusion in last minute. Correct answer is option C. Tier 1 is non-withdrawable retirement account with withdrawal restrictions. Tier 2, voluntary savings account with free withdrawal. Okay, here you can see that the funds contributed by the subscribers are invested by PFRDA registered pension fund managers, PFMs, as per the investment guidelines of PFRDA. Who is the regulator of pension sector? It is PFRDA only. Fine. Now we have the question based on SME, and for SME we will be seeing that what is the difference between forfeiting and your factoring process. Considering a scenario where the Indian small and medium enterprise engaged in exporting the leather goods to multiple buyers in different European countries seeks to optimize its working capital and mitigate the risk associated with international receivables. Based on the characteristics of factoring and forfeiting, you have to tell me what is the right answer. See, this particular question, when we talk about the question itself, it is only talking about one thing, that you must be very clear with the concept, with the difference of your factoring and forfeiting. What is the right answer? Correct answer will be option D, factoring, because of the inclusion of services like collection of credit protection would be particularly beneficial for the SMEs dealing with the diverse international buyers. Complexity of cross-border payment is also there. For your exam, Question is important, and but more important is this one. Sorry. So factoring and forfeiting, when we talk about the difference, is very, very important. That is, factoring is suitable for ongoing open account sale not backed by the LCs, but these are backed by LC when we talk about the forfeiting. Factoring is short term in nature. Here you will see medium to long term in nature, the forfeiting. Factoring can be with or without recourse. When we talk about forfeiting, it is generally without recourse. Factoring requires continuous arrangement between factor and client, whereby all the sales are routed through the factor, right? Seller need not to route other business through the forfeiter. Deals are concluded transaction wise, only transaction wise. Do remember this fact. Factor assumes the responsibility for collection and helps client reduce the overheads for the same. Forfeiter's responsibility extends to collection of forfeited debt only the forfeited debt. Charges include those for financing the collection, administration, credit protection and MIS. When we talk about the charges for forfeiting, it is very, very important. It includes discount and commitment charges in the forfeiting. Factoring, the most commonly asked question, that factoring is commonly for which type of transaction? For your domestic as well as international. But when I talk about forfeiting, do remember it is only for your international transaction, only. And that is the key difference between both of them. Fine. Now let's see the question based on Angus Madison database. Angus Madison database we have seen in the first chapter only, first chapter of our book. What is the right answer? According to Angus Madison database, which of the following statements about India and China share of global GDP is correct? When we start the study of Angus Madison database, we see that your China and India were contributing to more than 50% of global GDP share. So C is the right answer when we talk about the overall you can say question, because first statement India alone contributed, no, India and China contributed. Second one, 1600 China share of world GDP was almost same with India. 1700 India share of world GDP grew as compared to 1600. That is why it is right. And when we talk about in 1970, India China together accounted for more than 30%. No, we were into the colonial era. So the correct answer is what? Option C only. And the contribution of India and China during that era of your 1000 AD, it was 50.5%, both India and China. Okay. According to World Bank classification, you have to tell the correct statement. What is the correct statement here? Quickly tell me the right answer. Only the right answers we will be focusing on. It is option C. The lower middle income country category includes the countries with per capita income between your 1146 to 4515. This is the category which you must remember. These are the four categories in front of you. India falls under the lower middle income category, and this particular category is important to know. That is why you must know the range as well. You must remember the range as well. 1146 to 4515. So the phrase Hindu rate of growth, coined by Professor Raj Krishna in 1978, refers to what? It refers to the low annual growth rate, low annual growth rate between the 1950s to 1980s. And what was the growth rate? Below 3.5% only. India was able to break this curse of Hindu rate of growth during which 5-year plan? It was 6th 5-year plan. Option B will be the right answer. Okay. What else in the 6th plan? You will see the Garibi Hatao. Garibi Hatao, combat the poverty. That was the slogan. Next, which of the following best describes the quaternary sector? Quaternary sector is what? It is the knowledge sector. Knowledge sector, you will be having the option A as the right answer. Consider as the knowledge sector focusing on intellectual aspects of the human resources. Okay, here you can see that it is mentioned that knowledge sector, and the examples are teaching, research, development, employees in the office buildings, etc., elementary schools. Which of the following agricultural revolutions is correctly matched with the following? Silver revolution is for eggs, right? Pink revolution is for your onion, prawns. Brown revolution is for what? It is for leather, cocoa, non-conventional energy. . Grey revolution is for fertilizer. So D will be the right answer. Fine, here you can see the same. When I talk about the various sectors of economy, you have to select the correct answer here. So, agriculture share of country's gross income has been declining, while the industrial and services sector has been steadily increasing. What do you think, that agriculture share has declined or not? It has declined. Then we have GDP measures the value of all the goods and services produced in the country, correct? GDP, the agri and allied services sectors contribute approximately 17.8 at current prices during 2019-20. According to economic surveys, the services sector contributed approximately 54.7%. Manufacturing employs roughly 12%. So, what is the right answer here? Option D. All these statements are correct. These are the facts which you must know, the basic facts when we talk about the chapter of sectors of economy. Okay, organized sector, informal workers, unorganized sector, formal worker. What is the correct answer here? The organized sector comprises of manufacturing, enterprise, business, all the registered ones with the government. When we talk about the organized sector, higher unemployment than the unorganized sector. This is wrong, because organized sector has low unemployment as compared to your unorganized sector. Informal workers are defined as those who work in unorganized firms, families, including the regular workers with the social securities. Then farming is one of the largest unorganized sector, that is true. When we talk about the unorganized sector, it is characterized by small and scattered units which are largely not registered with the government. So, correct answer will be option B, 1, 4 and 5. When we talk about these two, these are wrong statements, because organized sector has less unemployment. And when we talk about informal workers, you cannot just say that organized and unorganized have the same informal worker definition. Okay, which of the following characteristics best describes the sunrise sector in the Indian economy? When we talk about Indian economy, sunrise sector is what? It is having the sector that is in early stage but shows significant potential for the future. So, C will be the right answer. Here the example, green energy, fintech, IT, you must remember these examples. Which among the following is not a method of deficit financing? We finance the deficit of our country based on what? Domestic budgetary sources. Then we have not the domestic budgetary sources. When we talk about the economic planning, the funding for economic planning is done by three sources. First one is your domestic budgetary sources, then you have deficit financing, and third one is the foreign assistance. When we talk about deficit financing specifically, you are having the funds from the RBI, direct borrowing from the RBI will happen, or you can say RBI cash balances you can use, and the government can also use the funds from the public, or you can say the foreign governments. So, what will be the right answer here? Direct borrowing from private sector is not a method under the deficit financing. Public and foreign governments, RBI borrowing, cash balances held with the RBI, yes, they can use. D will be the right answer. Okay, the sources are domestic budgetary sources, deficit financing and foreign assistance. Under foreign assistance, you have World Bank, and World Bank is what? IBRD and IBRD and IDA. When I talk about domestic budgetary sources, only taxation you must remember, that is the most important one. Okay, regarding the 5-year plans, which is the correct statement, you have to tell me. There are 5 statements, you must tell me the correct one. Which is the correct statement? The plan holiday observed between 1966-69. What is the right answer here? So, plan holiday was there 66-69. When we talk about the 8th plan, target was 5.6, actual was 6.7. 8th 5-year plan we are talking about, when there was what? LPG reforms. 14 banks were nationalized during 4th plan. Planning Commission was a statutory entity? No, it was not, just an executive body. There was no specific emphasis on industrialization in 2nd plan. 2nd plan already talked about the what? Your industrialization only, led by PC Mahalanobis. So, what is the right answer here? Option A is the right answer. 1, 2 and 3 are the correct statements. Investment in plant and machinery or equipment should not be more than 10 CR and the annual turnover should not be more than 50 crore. Which of the following manufacturing enterprises is described here? So when we talk about the most important classification of unit number 4, it will be what? Micro, small and medium enterprises classification based on the investment and turnover 1, 10, 50, and here you will see what? 5, 50 and 250. What is asked here? Not more than 10 crore the investment and your turnover not more than 50 crore. Correct answer will be what? Option B is the right answer here, small. Which among the following not correct? Which of the following is correct ratio of minimum investment in plant and machinery for small enterprises to medium enterprises as per the latest definition of MSME? So what is the right answer here when we talk about the minimum investment in your minimum investment in the small to medium? So micro, small, medium investment only is asked. So 1, 10 and 50. So 1 is to 5 will be the right answer here. B is the right answer, correct answer. Next, here you can see the chart also is given. One more important point, that the latest one which is being effective from your 1st of April is this. Investment, the revised is 2.5, 25 and 125 for micro, small and medium. For turnover, you will have the revised as 10, 100 and 500 CR for micro, small and medium enterprises. Okay, which among the following sectors is included as part of the PLI scheme of MSMEs? When we talk about the MSMEs, PLI scheme, white goods, food products, auto components, medical device manufacturing or mobile manufacturing. What is the right answer? All the 5 are there in your PLI scheme. And what else is important when we talk about the PLI scheme? What else? Which sector? This sector is very, very important. Drone and drone components, ACC batteries are important. MMF segment, technical textile important. White goods is in the question only. Then you have specialty steel also. These are the most important ones. CLCSS, when we see the aim of CLCSS, it is what? To have the technology upgradation, to provide the technology upgradation, tech up. So what is the right answer? Upgradation of technology for MSME. D is the right answer. The priority sector lending targets with respect to small and marginal farmers. Foreign banks with more than 40 branches in India is what? Quickly tell me the right answer here. So the priority sector lending targets with respect to SMFs, foreign banks with more than 40 branches, means you are talking about the 18% criteria for the agriculture. Out of that, 10% was earmarked for your small and marginal farmers. B is the right answer. Okay. Total priority sector lending 40, 40, 75, 75. Domestic commercial banks, foreign banks with less than 20 branches, RRBs and SFBs. Agriculture 18% here, RRB is 18%, SFB is also 18%. Out of that 18%, 10% each will be having as the obligation for your small and marginal farmers. Micro enterprises 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. When I talk about the advances to weaker section, it is 12% in your domestic commercial banks and foreign banks with more than 20 branches. 12% for your small and finance banks, but for RRBs it is 15%. You must remember that. That is the important point. RRB is 15% when we talk about advances to weaker sections. Largest infrastructure project of India, investment program with more than $100 billion. It is incorporated under PM Gati Shakti plan. Government is developing various industrial corridor projects as part of National Industrial Corridor Program, which is aimed at the development of futuristic industrial cities in India. Can compete with the manufacturing and investment destination in the world. Which of the following describes the best? This particular data, this particular you can say passage describe which of the following. So it is describing what? Bharatmala Pariyojana. You must remember that Bharatmala Pariyojana is India's largest infrastructure investment program. It is India's largest infrastructure investment program. That is the keyword here. Okay. India's ambitious renewable energy target is for achieving dash from the non-fossil sources by 2030. It is what? 500 gigawatt. A is the right answer. Bharatmala Pariyojana, you can see that What is the aim? Improve the connectivity, reduce the logistic cost. Length is 34,800 kilometer. Along with that, largest infrastructure investment program with the corpus of $100 billion. Department of Telecom under PPP mode has launched Tarang Sanchar, a web portal for Tarang Sanchar is a web portal for EMF compliance. You must know that what is the emission compliance of EMF, and B is the right answer. Under which mode? Under public private partnership mode. FDI cap in communication infrastructure is 100%, earlier it was 74%. Process of reducing the trade dependency and integration amongst the particular units throughout the world is known as what? The process, only the process. The process is known as deglobalization, and if I impose a law, on that particular process, or I enforce that process via a law, then it will be known as what? Protectionism. So, for this question, correct answer is deglobalization only. B is the right answer, because we are talking about the process, not the law. Okay. Which of the following market reforms were an outcome of Narasimham Committee 2 for Indian banking sector? Deregulation of branch licensing, prudential norms, capital adequacy, all of the above will be the right answer. Committee on weak banks formed under the chairmanship of R.H. Khan, A.K. Khandelwal, S.N. Verma, or none of the above. It was formed on the you can say chairmanship of S.N. Verma, the Verma committee. Okay, here you must remember all these important ones. Chakravarti committee, monetary policy. Narasimham committee, fiscal sector reforms. Padmanabhan committee, review the bank supervision. Narasimham committee 2, review of banking sector reforms. Verma committee on weak banks, harmonization of role of FIs and banks by R.H. Khan committee. Do remember these 6. These are very important. Question can be asked. Okay, which of the following is not a correct match of the Camels initiative implemented as per the recommendation of Narasimham Committee 2? So, Camels framework is there for the supervisory reforms. So, C stands for capital adequacy, A for asset quality, M stands for management, L for liquidity. M is for management, not money, that is why C is the right answer. Okay, C for capital adequacy, A for asset quality, M for management, E is for earnings, L is for liquidity, and S is for sensitivity to market risk. With the reference to the concept of growth and development, select the correct statements from the following options. You have to select the correct ones. Economic development comes before the growth. Growth brings both quantitative, qualitative changes. Economic development is the subset of the economic growth, or economic growth measure only the increase in production. Economic growth only talks about the numbers, so D will be the right answer. When I talk about the development, it talks about the numbers as well as the social welfare. So, it is a broader concept. The development is a broader concept. First, growth will be there, then development will happen. If you talk about the developing countries, they only talk about the economic development because they are developing, they want to attain that development. And when we talk about the developed countries, they have already attained the development. Now they are only focused towards the economic growth. So, D is the right answer here. SCOMET policy forms an integral part of the Foreign Trade Policy 2023. What does O stands for in the SCOMET policy? Special chemicals, organisms. So, your D will be the right answer. Rest you can see special chemicals, organisms, M for materials, E for equipment, and T is for technology. Under the FTP 2023, the government aims to increase the India's overall exports to what? It aims to expand the exports to what? $2 trillion, USD 2 trillion by 2035. Fine, 2030, not 35. Fine, do remember this. You might get confused, like I was confused right now. This is the right answer. Fine, by 2030. Yes, C is the right answer. 2 trillion by 2030. That is the target year, 2030. Okay, a parent corporation establishes a subsidiary in the destination country. It builds the operation from scratch. Hyundai India, Pepsi India, they are the examples of such FDIs. Which type of FDI we are talking about? Whether it is greenfield, brownfield, joint venture, or none of the above. We are talking about the scratch. From the scratch business has been established. So, greenfield FDI will be the right answer. Brownfield, the Indian partner already has one particular system set up in India. And joint venture, you are sharing the profit, you are sharing the losses, you are here to share everything, in fact the ideas as well. So, Hero Honda was the example of joint venture. Brownfield, Renvaxi India and Daiichi Sankyo. Greenfield is given as Hyundai India and Pepsi India. Automatic route, when we talk about, what is the correct information regarding automatic route? FDI through the automatic route requires prior approval from the government but not the RBI. Automatic route does not require any, you can say, approval from anybody. Fine, you only have to provide the information to RBI that yes, this setup has been there from our end, and we will be covering these particular, you can say, operations via the FDI. Fine. So what is the right answer here? Correct answer is option C. Investors under the automatic route must follow a two-stage reporting process to RBI. What is this two-stage reporting process? First of all, the Indian investor, find the Indian party to the investment, that is FDI. They will be receiving some funds from the foreign party, and the issues will be there, issuance of shares will be there. That information will be provided within the 30 days of issuance of shares to RBI, and after that the file work, whichever documentation is required, that also will be processed and provided to the RBI. So this is the two-stage process under automatic route. No government approval is required. So which intergovernmental organization is having 13 oil exporting developing countries, and they are doing what? They are unified. They have unified for the petroleum policy. So which of the following is the headquarter of this organization? We are talking about the OPEC, and OPEC headquarter is in Vienna, that is option D. SDR, when we talk about, it is what? Supplementary International Reserve Asset? Yes. SDR serves as the unit of account IMF in other international organization? Yes. Collapse of Bretton Woods system 1973 increased the reliance on SDR. So it increased the reliance on SDR or remained the equivalent of 0.888671 gram of gold, also equivalent to $1. So it was not this system after 1973. We have the basket of currency. So third is wrong. The SDR is neither a currency nor a claim on the IMF. Fourth is right. C will be the right answer. Yes, D module we have already covered, Swati. We have already covered the D module. We are right now in the next module. Okay, MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. What is the right answer here in terms of MIGA? Encouraging the foreign direct investment into developing countries, protecting the investors against the non-commercial and political risk. Yes, so both the first two statements are correct. Advising the governments on how to attract the investment. Yes, but long-term infrastructure, no. These types of loans are not provided by the MIGA. MIGA is not here to disburse the loans. It is being done by the World Bank via your IDA and IBRD. So A is the right answer. 1, 2 and 3 only. IBRD, IDA, IFC, MIGA, India is the member of all these four. ICSID, India is not a member. Okay, MIGA, you can see it encourages the FDI in developing countries by protecting the investors against the non-commercial and political risks like wars. Next, Panchamrit commitments, which is the correct answer here? Here it is written, not one of them, but just for the revision sake, I am asking you that what is the correct answer. Last three are correct, this one is wrong. Fine, because here the year net zero emission, the target year is 2070, not 2040. Okay. Panchamrit commitments 2070 net zero emission. When we talk about the non-fossil energy capacity 500 gigawatt by 2030. From when we talk about the percentage of your non-renewable energy must be generated by 2030. When we talk about the total projected carbon emission by 1 billion ton, that must be reduced by 2030. By 2030, India must reduce the carbon intensity of its economy by less than 45%. These are the 5 commitments known as Panchamrits. Next, the disaster preparedness score as per the Disaster Resilience Index in terms of SDG 13 in India stands at what? What is the DRI here? It is B, that is 19.20. As per the Planning Commission, population below the poverty line in rural areas is 25.7% and for urban areas it is 13.7%. PLFS data provides you for what? For the worker population ratio, and it has been increased by almost what? It has been increased by almost 26% by 2017 to 2023. According to World Bank, if a person is living on dash or less, then he or she is living in the extreme poverty. So, what is the threshold here? $2.15 per day. C is the right answer. As per the World Inequality Report, top 10% of the Indians earn dash of the total income. What is the right answer here? Total income 57%. Which of the following schemes organizes the traditional industries and are treated into clusters and then make them competitive? That is Sphoorti. Sphoorti is the right answer. Okay, option A. Disha, we have covered the numerical of your module D. Module D we have covered. Now we will be doing the module B and covering the numerical as well. Which among the following initiative has been launched by SIDBI to improve the accessibility of credit and hand holding services to MSME? It will be what? Option A, that is Udyami Mitra portal. Next, for your CGTMSC, what is the limit? Limit is 5 crore, right? The limit which we need to remember is what? 5 CR. That will be the correct answer. When collateral free loan up to rupees 5 crore. The government of India launched the Stand Up India scheme. What is the quantum of loan which is provided to the SC/ST category people or the females? So, the quantum of loan, the range is 10 lakh to 1 CR, that is option C. Which among the following is the main aim of Amrut? Main aim of Amrut is to encourage the urban infrastructure. Fine, urban infrastructure, and the correct answer for this is option B, to transform the urban living condition through infrastructure upgradation. Okay, Amrut, the full form is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. Next, which of the following initiative is aligned with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goal via SDG 4? SDG 4 talks about the quality education, and correct answer is National Education Policy 2020, that is option C. Raga Chandrika, the session will end, I think, in half an hour or 1 hour. Let's see. Okay, fourth is what? Quality education. You must remember this. SDG 4 talks about what? Then you must remember SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. 9th, industry, innovation, infrastructure. Then SDG 13, climate action, and your SDG 17, partnership for the goals. Because right now we see many things going around in the globalization domain. So, this can be asked as the question, that what is the partnership for goals in your SDGs? It is SDG 17 for globalization. ESG, considered as the modern dimension of corporate social responsibility. What does E stands for in the ESG? It is environmental. B will be the right answer. Okay, now let's see what is the definition of welfare and what is the definition of scarcity. Fine. Which of the following statement best describe the evolution of economic thought that forms focus on wealth to broader the consideration of welfare and the fundamental problem of scarcity? So, what is the right answer? We all know that wealth definition was given by Adam Smith, then we have the welfare definition by Alfred Marshall, and lastly we will have the scarcity definition by Lionel Robbins. Wealth definition will be talking about only the wealth of the nations. When we talk about welfare, you are talking about the wealth of the nations along with the human welfare, and when we talk about the scarcity definition, you are talking about the resources which are scarce, you have to manage them. Correct answer is option B. The early economic definition centered on wealth creation only, but later perspective expanded to include the distribution of resources and impact on human well-being, acknowledging the constraint of scarcity. Scarcity of what? Of resources. Which of the following statements accurately distinguish between the macro and micro? Micro, the individual agents, be it the human beings, the individual citizens or the business units, and macro talks about the broader economy. GDP numbers are there, you have the PCI, the PPP, all these numbers are there when we talk about the macroeconomics. So what is the right answer here? Option C. Macroeconomic deal with the broad perspective like economic growth, monetary policy. Micro talks about the behavior of individual households and firms in the specific markets. Okay, you have to select the correct option when we talk about capitalistic market or socialist economy or your mixed economy. So here you will see the definitions. Resources are allocated primarily through price mechanism. We know that this is the market economy or the capitalistic economy. When we talk about the government owns and controls the means of production, we are talking about the socialist or command economy. Private property rights are protected and competition is encouraged, again market economy. When I talk about the government plays a significant role in regulating the industries and providing the social services also we are talking about. So it will be what? Your mixed economy, that is X. Then we have economic decisions are driven by the pursuit of profit, so profit maximization, market economy. When we talk about the primary goal is to achieve the social welfare and reduce the inequality, your socialist economy. Fine, socialist economy. Fine. So what will be the right answer? MX, 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 MS, MX and MS. So A will be the right answer here. A is the right answer. Yes. Okay, A is the right answer. Focus on the concepts. You must be very clear. Please explain keyword. For market means the market forces are determining, the private players are determining the corporates along with the individual players. Individual players are the citizens. Economics as the study of wealth, wealth including man and means to achieve the scarce resources, defined by whom? So J.M. Keynes, Alfred Marshall Robins or Adam Smith, Alfred and Robins. Fine. So C will be the right answer because Adam Smith propounded what? The wealth definition, Alfred Marshall welfare definition, Robins the scarcity definition. C is the right answer. Now you have to tell me that a particular case is given wherein you will see that law of demand has been contravened. Fine, we are talking about the reversal of law of demand. It can happen based on two things. One, the your goods are inferior, fine, day-to-day goods we are talking about, or secondly they are luxury. Here luxury item has been described. So for luxury goods, who has defined the particular scenario of reversal of, or you can say exception to the law of demand? It was Thorstein Veblen. When we talk about inferior goods, it was your Sir Robert Giffen. Fine. For this question, luxury goods, answer will be Thorstein Veblen. A is the right answer. Quantity demanded tends to fall as the price rises for two reasons. Which of the following are those two reasons? They are substitution effect and your income effect. Correct answer is option A. Here you can see that the question is being asked for your M1, M2, M3 and M4. What is the formula here? Formula for M1 is what? Then we have M2, M3 and lastly M4. So always remember M4 is what? M3 plus all post office, fine, all the post office deposits. M3 is what? M1 plus your what? Time deposit. M2 is what? Again M1 plus the savings deposits of post office. M1 is what? What is M1? M1 is nothing but the currency with the public and demand deposit and other deposit. So currency with public, demand deposit plus other deposits of RBI. Add these three first and then you can easily solve the rest. Okay. Fine. So right answer is what? Option A is the right answer here. You will be getting this formula. You must remember, that is important for you. I have listed here the formula again, but as I have told you, do try to remember like that starting from M4. Okay, one more thing, in M4 you will see that all the deposits of post office except for Kisan Vikas Patra and your NSC certificate, they are not included. Do remember that. Okay, now one numerical based on your money multiplier. The commercial bank receives a initial deposit of what? 10,000 rupees. Fine. A new deposit of rupees 10,000 has been received. So rupees 10,000 has been received. The initial corpus. RBI has stated that the CRR is 5%. So money multiplier will be what? It will be 1 divided by 5 by 100. So you will be getting multiplier as this will go up. You will get money multiplier as 20. So MM, that is money multiplier, will be 20. You have to do what now? Just multiply this money multiplier with the M naught. This is M naught, na? The reserve money which has been infused by the RBI. Money multiplier has two formulas. One is this, 1 divided by CRR. Another one was what? M3 by M naught. Now you, from this particular formula, 1 by R, you know the money multiplier as 20. This is equal to what? M3 you have to find from the question, and the M naught is given as 10,000. So what is the right answer here? You will see that option A is the right answer. Okay, A is the right answer, that is 2 lakh. Okay, these are the two formulas, one divided by reserve ratio, another one is broad money divided by reserve money. Okay. Next, the important formula, velocity of money. It is what? Velocity of money is nominal GDP divided by the money supply. Largely, it is M3 only. Fine. That is known as the velocity of money. You have to just divide 20,000 billion with the 5,000 billion. You will get what? 4 as the right answer, option B. Okay. Next, we have the calculation of GDP deflator. What is the GDP deflator? It talks about the deflation, complete opposite of inflation, but we measure the inflation using GDP deflator also, because complete reversal of something will tell you something about that particular thing also. Fine, confused? Deflation talks about what? That your market is not in inflation, right? That is the indicator which GDP deflator talks about. So when we talk about the formula, it will be what? Real divided by nominal or nominal by real? It will be nominal GDP divided by the real GDP multiplied by 100. That will be the formula for your GDP deflator. So here 400 divided by 200 multiplied by 100, that is your what? How many percentage? It is 20%, 200%, not 20, 200% will be the right answer. If the price index of May 2024 is 193.40 and 186.20 during the May 2023, inflation rate will be what? So the present rate minus the previous year's rate divided by the previous year's rate multiply by 100, that will give you the inflation. That right now, what is the inflation in your market? Correct answer is option B, that is 3.86%. Next question, we talk about the consumer price index. Now consumer price index okay, consumer price index, based on the information provided, tell me the correct statement. What is the true statement from the following? CPI is released what? Annually or monthly? It is released monthly by the NSO. Core inflation includes the effects of volatile food and energy prices? No, it excludes. Current CPI base year is 2012 with base value of 100. That is correct. CPI is measured at retail level, not wholesale level. C will be the right answer. Okay, do not get confused with this. Okay, this 2012. There are two nomenclature for this. Either you write the base year as 2011-12 or you can write the base year as 2012. That is one and the same thing. Okay, when we talk about Keynes rate of interest theory and classical theory, what is the correct answer or correct description? The distinguishing point is option B only. That is, classical theory will say interest rate is determined by savings and investment. Keynes will say it is determined by the supply of money and liquidity preference. Simple. Okay, liquidity preference means what? That you are having the funds but you are preferring to not spend those funds. That is the liquidity model given by the economist J.M. Keynes. And when we talk about classical economists, they will be talking about that savings, demand for savings and supply of savings will determine the mechanism of rate of interest. That is the basic difference between these two, you can say, theories. When we talk about the motives for holding cash, there are three motives according to J.M. Keynes: transaction motive, precautionary motive and speculative motive. For holding cash, transaction motive, day to day life transactions you are doing. For business entities also, day to day, you can say, business transactions is happening, like transportation cost. When we talk about the precautionary motive, it talks about your precautionary motive will be talking about the precaution you have to take, that you have to save for the unforeseen circumstances which can happen in the future. When we talk about the last one, that is your speculative motive, that right now the amount of money which I have, the value of money which I have, it is not that much, but after 10 days it will be a huge number. So that is why I am speculating and keeping the money from investing. Okay, so what is the right answer? Correct answer is option C, transaction for holding cash, day to day transaction; speculative, holding cash for potential future gains; precautionary, holding cash for unforeseen expenses. Fine, ISLM curve, Indian government has increased the spending, so the curve will move where? IS curve will move towards the right, spending has been increased. So the correct answer will be option C, spending has increased, shift to the right, higher interest rate and output is also high. Okay, here you can see expansion. When we are infusing money, the curve will shift rightwards, rate of interest will rise and you will see high output. Dash are the two primary assets preferred by the customers under the liquidity theory of interest provided by J.M. Keynes. So J.M. Keynes will say that cash and bonds, these are the two assets which are being discussed in the economy. So your correct answer will be what? Option C, cash and bond. Saurabh Patel, all the best for the exam. You will surely qualify this exam based on the preparation level which you have, all of you in fact. Okay, best wishes are always there with all of you. Which of the following is not a characteristic of business cycle? Non-pervasive in effect, synchronic, recurring or wave-like movement. It is pervasive in effect, that is why A will be the wrong statement. Fine. So A is the answer for this, because you have to select not a characteristic. In which phases of business cycle the following characteristic is observed? Extremely low aggregate demand in the economy, inflation is comparatively lower, employment avenues begin to close, forcing the unemployment rate rapidly. So depression phase you are talking about, that now inflation is lower, comparatively lower. When we talk about the tenors of TLTROs, it is 1 to 3 years. Targeted long term repo operation, the correct answer will be 1 year to 3 years. A is the right answer. CRR, SLR, what is the limit? When we talk about CRR, there is no maximum minimum limit. For SLR, maximum limit is 40%, no minimum limit has been assigned as such. So right answer will be option B. CRR has no legally defined maximum minimum limit. SLR has no defined maximum limit, but it has the maximum limit but no minimum limit, SLR. Which among the following sections of RBI Acts of the RBI Act consists of provisions with respect to accountability of RBI with respect to inflation target? So inflation target, when we talk about, it is section 45ZN, and when we talk about the monetary policy specifically, it is section 45ZB. Okay, this is what for your inflation target, it is ZN. Which of the following is not a direct component under the MCLR? Under the MCLR, which is the component or not? This particular one, whether it is a component or not. The external benchmark cannot be a component because EBLR is a separate interest rate. Fine, it is a separate one. You do not have the similar. Okay, it is not similar at all. Fine. Okay, I hope this one is clear. You have marginal cost of funds, negative carry on CRR, operating cost, and the last one is tenor premium. External benchmark rate is different altogether. Okay, CRR, SLR, the main difference between both of them is being asked. So CRR is the percentage of bank's deposit which is being held by RBI, and SLR is the percentage of bank's deposit within the bank itself, and it is under the liquid assets, government securities. When I talk about this particular question, We are discussing the GDP computation here via the expenditure method. Expenditure method talks about what? C plus I plus G plus X minus M. And when we are talking about the GNP, we have to calculate GNP in this question. We will be adding the NFIA, that is net factor income from abroad, in the GDP numbers. So what will be the right answer here? You simply have to do what? Add C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Why X minus M? Because net export is being considered in the expenditure method. Finally, you will be adding the 20,000 number. 9 lakh crore will be the right answer. Okay, here you can see the formula is written for your reference. Here, C plus I plus G plus X minus M plus NFIA, where C is what? The private consumption, I is for your gross domestic investment, G is for the government expenditure, X minus M the net exports, that is export minus import, NFIA is the net factor income from abroad. Do remember this, very important formula. Okay, which of the following is the formula for your GVA at basic price? GVA at basic price talks about what? GVA at factor cost, then we have plus the production taxes minus the subsidies. So, taxes added, subsidies subtracted in the GVA at basic price. Which of the following is not a tax revenue of central government? Not a tax revenue means you have to tell me the non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenue is what? Your receipts of union territories. The first three are the tax revenues. D will be the right answer. Okay, here you can see revenue receipts. We talk about the tax revenue. Okay, tax revenue is there, and then we have non-tax revenue. Tax revenue, all the taxes are there, including the taxes of union territories. But when we talk about the non-tax revenue, then you have the receipts of union territories. You must remember the difference. Non-tax revenue has the component from union territories, yes, but the receipts of union territories. Here, the taxes of union territories will be included in the revenue receipts. Okay, revenue receipts, tax revenue. Okay, which of the following form a part of capital expenditure in the union budget? Capital expenditure, securities against small savings, state provident fund, internal debt and public account. Do you think that these are the expenditure? Correct answer is option D, none of them. Because here you can see that they are the debt receipts, these are the receipts. Fine. The Indian government financial data for a fiscal year is this. You have to tell me the net tax revenue. What will be the net tax revenue here? When we talk about the net tax revenue, the formula is what? You are having the tax, you have collected the gross tax, fine. So, the gross tax you have collected, you have to subtract the calamity fund, the funds for your natural calamity. They must be subtracted and kept aside. You are not using, the government is not using these funds. Minus what? Minus the state share. The state share must also be subtracted as per the recommendation of Finance Commission. Okay, you will be getting the answer. What is the right answer here? I think option B is the right answer. 25 lakh, yes, using this particular formula. Okay, B is the right answer. Okay. Next, SDF, you have to tell me that what is the key difference between SDF and your reverse repo rate. The correct answer will be option B. SDF, always remember, uncollateralized facility, and when we talk about your reverse repo rate, it is what? It is having certain security as backing, and both of them are there for with the RBI to manage the inflation. They are the monetary policy tools, and SDF, specifically when we talk about reverse repo rate, specifically when we talk about, they are to absorb the liquidity from the market. N.K. Singh committee was formed to review the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, FRBM Act in India. Which of the following was the key recommendation of this particular committee? Key recommendation you have to tell me. So, basically the key recommendation was what? That you must have one debt to GDP ratio. You must factor in your debt now. Not only the central government, but the states must also publish their debt. So, correct answer will be option C, to introduce a debt to GDP ratio along with the gradual reduction of fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit reduction was the key aim of FRBM, but what was new? It introduced the debt to GDP ratio target. Okay, which of the following are the recommendation of Narasimham Committee? 1. Establishment of a 4-tier hierarchy for your banking structure, phased reduction in SLR, then phased achievement of 10% CAR, that is capital adequacy ratio. What will be the right answer based on the Narasimham Committee? 1, A is the right answer. Phased achievement of 8% was there, not 10%. Okay, do remember this. As per the section 4 of RBI Act, paid up capital of the bank shall be how much? Paid up capital of the bank. We are talking about the RBI, that is 5 crore. But for the scheduled commercial banks, it will be what? 5 lakh. As per section 13 of RBI Act, meetings of central board shall be convened by the governor at least dash times each year. How many times? As per the section 13 we are talking about, it will be option C, that is 6 times. Next, we have minimum loan size for the equipment finance under the SIDBI, Make in India Soft Loan Fund for MSME, SIDBI Smile. SIDBI Smile, the minimum loan size is option B, that is 10 lakh. Okay, Smile 10 lakh, do remember this. Smile, you can see here, a very important scheme. SIDBI, Make in India Soft Loan Fund for MSME, Smile, loan amount minimum 10 lakh for the equipment finance, minimum loan size for other category 25 lakh, tenure will be up to 10 years including 3-year moratorium. Then we have SCF Smile Equipment Finance, minimum loan quantum is 10 lakh and the repayment is what? Up to 72 months. These are the important points which you must remember. Then we have one more here, that is speed. Loan for purchase, SIDBI, loan for purchase of equipment for enterprises development up to 100% of the machinery cost, subject to the maximum of 1 CR. And when we talk about the loan tenure, it is 2 to 5 years. Apart from that, STAR is important. SIDBI, term loan assistance for rooftop solar PV plants, STAR, do remember that, SIDBI. The loan amount is again 10 lakh to 2.5 CR and the time period, the loan tenure will be up to 5 years including 3 to 6 months moratorium. Okay, rest are if you have time you can see, but these were for the COVID time, fine, emergency, yes, these were during COVID. STAR you must remember. As per the RBI regulatory framework on your microfinance loans, direction 2022, microfinance loan is defined as the collateral free loan given to household having annual household income up to what? What is the quantum of annual household income? It will be option A, that is 3 lakh. Okay, these numbers you must remember. Basically, module C is heavily loaded with data. So, these numbers, the difference between these numbers you must remember. Okay, so household with rupees 3 lakh income, do remember for your microfinance. Asset finance company in India is one whose income arising of the principal business is not less than dash of its total assets and total income. When we talk about the asset finance company in India, it is one whose income arising out of the principal business is not less than how much of the total asset and total income, that is being asked. Option C, that is 60% will be the right answer here. Price discovery in the financial markets is affected by which of the following? There are 5 or 6 measures, fine. You have to tell me that which of the following is responsible for affecting the price discovery mechanism. Supply demand, attitude to risk, volatility, available information regarding the market and the market mechanisms. All of them will be required. So, D will be the right answer. Next we have payment bank. They can accept the deposit up to 3 lakh per customer or 2 lakh. The money received as deposits can be invested in the government securities who are eligible for the SLR. Then we have, they are permitted to issue the debit cards through although not the credit cards. Then we have payments, bank can not lend. So, B will be the right answer because first statement talks about 3 lakh but it is indeed 2 lakh. As per the section of Banking Regulation Act 1949, RBI gives license to banks. Which section we are talking about in the Banking Regulation Act with the respect to which the RBI will be will be giving the license to the banks? It is section 22. Section 22 talks about the licensing provided by the RBI to the banks. How much was the minimum deposit of banks that were nationalized in 1969? 1969, we are talking about what? 4th 5-year plan. Correct answer will be 50 crore. The minimum deposit 50 crore. And what about the second phase? In the second phase, what was the quantum of you can say minimum deposit and the banks were nationalized? Quickly tell me, which among the following committees has recommended the establishment of Universal Bank? Universal Bank, all of us know it is the Narsimham Committee 2, Universal Banks. And when we talk about the Dahot Committee and your Sodhani Committee, they were both formed in the context of India's financial sector reforms and capital account liberalization, forex markets you can say. Okay, which among the following do not fall under the provision of Banking Regulation Act? So, Banking Regulation Act does not include what? It does not include the last one, state, cooperative, agriculture and rural development banks. These are not banks per se, okay. Just the banks number is, the word is used as banks, but they are not the banks. Okay, so the PACs, your primary agriculture credit society at village level, they are not covered under the Banking Regulation Act, okay. Not covered. Then we have SCABs and the private cooperative agriculture and rural development banks, PCABs. They are classified as cooperative credit societies. Fine, they are private cooperative societies only. They are non-banks. Fine, non-banks. Do remember this. Next, DFIs, you have to tell me the correct sequence of establishment, a very simple one, IDBI, EXIM, IFCI or SIDBI. What is the right answer here? B is the right answer. First will be your IFCI, everybody knows, started from there only, then we have IDBI, after that EXIM and lastly you will see SIDBI, right. Which among the following DFIs is not a specialized financial institution? Not a specialized financial institution. EXIM, UTI, TFCI or NABARD. It is option B, that is your UTI, not a specialized DFI. So, specialized FIs are EXIM, NABARD, TFCI and TDICI. When I talk about self-help group, you have to tell me the incorrect statement. Incorrect will be what? That financing to the SHGs by banks are refinanced up to the extent of 90%. Why 90%? It will be 100%. So, B will be the right answer because you have to select the wrong statement, and the loans are provided collateral free to the SHGs, everyone knows. Towards the weaker section the loans are directed, and lending to the SHG constitute part of the priority sector lending as well. Do remember these things, very basic things. I hope that everybody knows. Which among the following are not a salient feature of the amendments made to Chapter 3B of the RBI Act in 1997 under the regulatory oversight of your NBFC? Chapter 3B, do remember the keyword here. We are talking about specifically the amendment to the Chapter 3B of RBI Act 1997. So, what is the right answer here? Option C, that requiring all the NBFCs to create a reserve fund and to transfer the sum which is not less than 10% of their profit each year. Fine, 10% of the profit. This is not a, you can say, correct statement. Rest 3 are the right answers. Making it mandatory for NBFCs to obtain the COR, that is certificate of registration from the RBI. Making it mandatory for NBFCs to maintain the minimum level of NOF and empowering the RBI to file the winding up petitions against the NBFCs. Okay, so regulatory minimum NOF for NBFC, ICC, MFI factors shall be increased to dash as per the SBR. So, final in 2027, what will be happening with the net own fund of all the 3 NBFC types? It will be 10 CR. 10 CR will be the right answer. Here you can see all the 3 by March 31, 2027. The RBI stated that via the glide path we will be achieving 10 CR. LIC was established in which of the following phases? When we talk about the phases of financial reforms, phase 1, 2, 3 or 4, it was in phase 2 only, that is your option B. Okay, phase 2 post independence, you can say 1947 to 1991. Okay, which among the following is recommendation of PJ Nayak committee? Now directly we will be jumping to the right answer, that is all of the above. All these are the recommendations, be it the looking into the various problems related to bank boards, to examine the working of the bank boards, issues of the strategies. Then we have to review the RBI guidelines on government owned banks. Then we have to analyze the work, conflict of interest and independence in the bank board. All these are the recommendation of PJ Nayak. Most important one is this, to review the RBI guideline on government ownership in banks. Paid up capital for establishing scheduled banks in India must be at least what? 5 lakh. Okay, rupees 5 lakh. A will be the right answer here. Next, NABFID, you have to select the incorrect with respect to the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. So, NABFID has only developmental objectives. How come? When we are talking about the financing of infrastructure and development, only developmental objective cannot be there. This is the right answer because we have to select the incorrect. NABFID does not take deposit from general public, the government initially holds 100% of the shares in the bank, which may subsequently be reduced to 26% when it was you can see launched or established. NABFID was set up as a corporate body with the authorized capital of what? Rupees 1 lakh crore. Authorized share capital of rupees 1 lakh crore. A will be the right answer. Incorrect statement. Which among the following is the provisions mentioned in the section 24 of Banking Regulation Act 1949? Whether it is CRR or SLR? It is SLR. Which among the following was the first DFI? First DFI was IFCI. A will be the right answer in India. Dash was the first development financial institution DFI to be listed in New York Stock Exchange NYSE. It was ICICI. A will be the right answer. Which among the following microfinance institutions which are for your profit? So profit, what do you think? Which one of the following microfinance institutions are for profit there? MFIs, which are societies, mutual fund, mutual benefit MFIs, NBFCs, MFIs. What is the right answer? It is the NBFC MFIs. Okay, these include your state, national cooperatives and mutually aided cooperative societies set up under the Mutually Aided Cooperative Societies Act, which was enacted by the government of Andhra Pradesh in the year 1955. For profit MFIs, your NBFC MFIs. Non-banking financial companies which are registered under the Companies Act, regulated by RBI. Most of the microfinance in India are through MFIs that fall under this particular category. They form the largest category of your MFIs. Okay, which among the following are the insurance depositories licensed presently by IRDAI? So what is the right answer here? I think all of the above. NSDL, Central Insurance, SHCIL and CAIIB. 2-3 more are there, but these 4 are most important. Then we have e-insurance account. One question on e-insurance account. You have to select the correct one, and indeed the last one is wrong. An individual who does not have insurance policy cannot open the e-insurance account. It is not like that. Okay, even if you do not have the account, you can even if you do not have the insurance policy, you can open the account. Okay, the concept of bad bank in India is to have NARCL coupled with the debt resolution company. That is, what is the name of that company? It is your IDRCL. That is your India Debt Resolution Company Limited. It is expected that sale of the bad loans to National Asset Reconstruction Company NARCL will be against dash cash and balance dash being in the form of securities receipts SR. So it will be what? A, that is 15% cash and balance and your 85% being in the form of SRs, that is security receipts. Section 17 of RBI Act is related to which of the following? Whether it is related to the meeting of your central board, removal of office, business permitted to conducted by the RBI or validity of loan, it is business permitted to be conducted by the RBI. Do remember section 17 pertains to the businesses conducted by RBI, the permissible businesses. Okay, yes, we are just concluding, don't worry. The session will be till 2 or 3 more minutes. Provisions related to CRR are mentioned in which of the following section? For CRR, it is mentioned where? In which section of RBI Act? It is mentioned in section 42. Okay, NBFC. We talk about the deposit taking NBFCs. You have to select the correct statement. The correct statement is option A, that is 1 and 2 only. NBFCs are allowed to accept and renew the public deposit for minimum period of 12 months and the maximum period is 60 months. They cannot accept the deposit repayable on demand. Do remember this fact, very important. NBFCs cannot offer the gifts, incentives or any other additional benefit to the depositors. The deposits with NBFCs are insured. No, nothing like that. Nothing has been written as being insured in NBFCs. Which among the following committee has been constituted to make the recommendation with respect to the microfinance institution? So it was what? Very simple. Malegaon committee. Fine. YH Malegaon committee. Nachiket Moore for your differentiated bank. RN Malhotra for your IRDAI establishment. PJ Nayak committee for your bank boards. Fine. So this was it from my side, from our side. I hope that you have learned something new, you have revised something new, and when we talk about the examination, it is what? After 2 hours you will be in the examination hall. So all the best everyone, all the best from the entire team. We want you to qualify with the flying colors. You have studied a lot and now is the time for execution, and I am expecting that most of you will be commenting on in the comment section of our videos with your scores that yes, we have qualified this exam. That is the wish from the entire team. Okay, so again, once again, all the best, give your best, and even if your exam is in the second shift or the third shift, do watch the analysis which we will be conducting at 11:30 a.m. on this particular channel also, so that you will be able to know the topics. Fine. Okay. Yes, the support is always there for all of you. Fine. So I think that we must conclude the session now, because you guys have to leave. Most of you have to leave. Okay. No, Swati, this was for the you can say final push. The important topics we have covered. You are not supposed to have the benchmark that yes, these questions will be asked. No, IIBF asks bulky questions, but we have tried to arrange the array of questions in a way that most of the topics will be covered. Sai Priya, all the best, Abhishek, Raga Chandrika K, Vishal, Ravi Krishna. Okay, fine. So we will meet in the analysis session now, and all of you who have my number, you can text me with the score after you have cracked the exam. Fine. All the best, guys. Good luck.